Hey guys, this is Dr. E from DrESkateboard. So today's ride, I just want to sort of show you with, I started here from my house. I did go pretty fast today because this is probably like my 5th or 6th run with the new setup, with my Mad Max Mini. And yeah, because when I first build a board, I don't feel safe until I test everything. The video I uploaded yesterday, I wasn't really pushing. Today I wasn't pushing it full throttle either, because it just with these, it's not the fastest. The I have isn't the fastest, but you know, once you're going like 25 miles per hour, it's just really hard to just go even faster, especially on the roads. You know, I'm not just testing it. I'm just actually riding with cars, other motorcycles. You can see and with this here. So started here. I have a pretty big 30% incline, and you see this hill. I'm 17 kilometers per hour. You could see my motor battery power is 600 watts. Now that power is only calculated with your battery power. If you want to actually get the actual, power of the motors, what you'll have to do is open up a calculator and basically multiply this. So input voltage at 6.3 times the actual motors, so 3. So I'm actually pushing 2,500 watts to the motor. All right, it's just not pulling that from the battery. So your motor are going to be always higher. The reason is the battery is where you get the power, but I don't know this exactly, but basically the VESC gives you, it basically, you know, powers the motors. So it's different. The battery power, the motor power is different. But this is 5 watts right there, so that's really good. Let me see if I that's at 17 miles, going slightly faster. Make left here. I'm slowing down a little bit. This is all uphill, pretty moderate, maybe 20% grade. And just sort of look at the power of the battery. If you want to actually get multiply by that, I'm around 1700 watts. And let's actually go skip to the section. This is all downhill. So you see that I'm using like 0. I'm actually not pushing. I'm just going downhill. And then I'm sort of speeding up through here. So you see the thing coming up. And for those of you who don't know what this is basically VESC. If you use a motor controller VESC for your DIY skateboard, you can install a Bluetooth module, Flipsky Bluetooth module for $10, and then you can use the Android app or the iOS app and basically log your whole journey with GPS, all information. You can see the MOSFET is still under 50 degrees. All right, it's looking very good. And let's keep going here. So 60 amps. I'm gonna just go through here. Ooh, look at that. So pushing 100 amps, input voltage at 41.2. I believe that's like a slightly uphill, almost flat, but I was sort of pushing on it. So that's when I was pushing on the full throttle, and that's about fudge. Where's the calculator? Calculator. Sorry, calculator is not coming out. Here we go. So that 100.29 times input voltage 41.2. So the motors are pushing 4,000 watts at that point, and you could see it's safe. I have my battery maximum battery set at 70 amps. The Samsung 40T is great because it can handle that. All right, and more, and you can set it to actually 90 amps, but I set it to 70 amps. And basically what VESC will do is it will never let your battery amps go above whatever set. It's going to slow It's not going to throw you off board. The only thing that's going to throw you off your DIY electric board with VESC is your BMS. So always your BMS, unless you're absolutely sure and you're using a BMS that's really, really high. But most BMS are rated for about around 40 amps. Things are huge. If you get bigger, you're gonna have just BMS, and that's the commercial boards. They go through, but it actually, in my opinion, it makes it more dangerous, especially going through. Because I've had the only time that threw me off board on all these commercial boards. Sometimes they ship with really cheap Chinese batteries, and always it's the BMS cuts off and it throws me off the board. I don't know why they still do that, but you absolutely have to bypass BMS if you're going faster. Otherwise, you run the risk of just getting off the board. There we go. So go around and go across the highway in the video, right? And let's, how fast am I going? Oh, sorry, 31 kilometers, 35. Where I'm going kind of fast. So, all right, 38 kilometers, that's about 25 miles per hour. 60 battery current is going to almost be half. Basically, what it does is, I believe the motor controller basically is able to put out more current, all right, from the battery. And basically, I think it stores it in the capacitors, and then just you're able to get more amps. I'm gonna have to actually do more studies on that. But if you guys have some knowledge on why the battery amps and motor amps are different, just leave in the comment section. I love learning. But I mean, that's the point of having a motor controller, is to push power, right? 3. Then now I am I'm going on this road. Oh, look at that! Look at these numbers here. Oops, go ahead. So about here, I'm pushing 8 amps. So I think I'm going up here. All right, battery at MOSFET at 52 degrees, and this is sort of, oh, this is all uphill actually. Yeah, that's what it is. This is like a pretty massive 35-degree incline, 35% incline. So about 15, 16, 17 of that. So it's more 90 amps there. So I'm actually not pushing, because I'm going the whole time. So I'm never actually pushing. My motor amps max current is set at 60 per motor. So this is for both motors. So I'm never actually going above 100, which is good, because the VESC 4.20 Plus is rated for 100 amps. And if you're going over 100 amps all the time, it's probably not good for VESC. It's not going to last too long. Top of the hill, I'm going to start going down. Boom, boom, boom. And you can see I'm using 0 amps. And here I'm just speeding up a little bit from the stop sign. So I've hit 40 kilometers. That's 25 miles per hour. Slightly downhill, 70 amps. MOSFET is actually increasing. This is, if you go back to where I'm climbing the hill, see the massive hills cause your MOSFET, basically the temperature of VESC, and you can see the time I'm done with the hill, and I'm going to, oh, this is where the uphill, sorry, this all the way up to the highway is up. You can see I climbed the hill, 54, and I never slowed down. It didn't slow down on me, and I was able to go fast, 65, and at the top of the hill. So with the heatsink exposed to the air, even these hills, and this is Pacifica right next to San Francisco, so we have the same kind of hills as San Francisco. These hills just really work your electric skateboard, because we live on one of the most hilliest places in the world you'll find here. That's why they have the most crooked street, which is also very hilly. Maybe I'll go that street. So now you can see I'm going downhill from here, and you can see the current motors and battery turning negative. And then I'm just pushing, and I actually I actually didn't make it back to my house. I was actually just, I wasn't going full throttle the whole time. I was just really maximizing always, but it also testing out your board. All right. So what I would do is I would hit the hill, get my speed. It's a downhill. Just add a little speed. Go. I just go back. I don't always push on it yet until you do the testing. And check out your graph. This is very important when you're building DIY skateboard. You have to look at the numbers and see how the numbers are in your ride. And then if you have any problems with heat, voltage, you need to fix that before going full throttle. But my board, I've tested it many times. You know, it's been over a week. I've done, like I said, over 6-7 rides, and I'm pretty confident I can go full throttle. Here you go. So I think that's the top speed for the day, 41 kilometers. GNS showing a little bit higher. So that's about 25, 26. I was actually past speed meter, and it actually, if you're on a skateboard, so it clocked me out around like 23, around that time. You could see, even though, see, the speed doesn't matter if you're going downhill. I'm actually braking. Look at this. I'm going 25 miles per hour, but I'm actually braking. So negative power. So it's, you know, if you're testing your and you're going fast, flat, you're going to be really high, like I do. You're never going to push. The reason is, you know, going uphill, it just makes everything work way harder. So if you live in like Texas hills, you're not going to be able to test it for the load. And the problem, like I have the Longboard N1, which ships with 10S2P Samsung 40T batteries. The biggest problem, it won't go up these hills because whoever made those boards at Longboard, they never tested it for these hills. I have the bigger Longboard version, which goes up the hills pretty well. But obviously the smaller version, because they use the hobby wing. It's just based on whatever the manufacturer set. So if you don't know how to, you know, mod your skateboard, and you buy the Longboard, I'll say this in my review too. You get stuck with no power. I'm going up these hills like 6 miles per hour. Whenever all the other small mini going, you know, even the Meep, the hub motors are going like 11 miles per hour up my hills. So this is a huge concern when you manufacturers make these boards, especially on make it with hobby wing. Hobby wing is basically it's customizable by manufacturer, but it basically set, the parameters are set. If didn't fit for these, you get stuck. Powerful skateboard can't go, or you can't max power. So if you really test your skateboard, really take it up there because you're gonna have way more current. This is all downhill. And you can see negative 40. I'm just slowing down. This is a nasty hill here. Temperature of the MOSFET. And you see the motor temps are always lower than the MOSFET because it's outside. And obviously you're getting good cooling when you're going fast. You're never going to have problems with motor temperature. I never did. If you're going fast, I mean, the wind will down. And then I make a turn here. I'm going back slightly uphill. You can see 30 kilometers. 8, and I'm actually running out of battery. You could see, where's the voltage? 37.5. So on the 12S, you don't want to get to 30. My VESC is already set to 30, 40 volts. It's going to start slowing down. So right now the board is actually slowing down, and I'm at full throttle because I know I'm running out of battery. And I didn't charge my board all the way. here. Just really, there's a uphill right before my house, and then I just slow. Look at this. I just couldn't make it up the hill. 30.2. So you could see that the VESC is awesome. Never throw you off the board. The VESC is very safe. If you want a power, if your voltage drops to 36 volts, just stops. All right. You can set that higher if you want to get your battery to last longer. You could set that voltage cuts off a little bit higher. For example, 12S, you want to cut it about 40 volts. If you want to, elongate your battery life, then you just discharge to maybe like 90%, maybe even less. Set it to like 41, 42. You'll get less range, but in emergencies, you can just log onto your phone and then extra power. So that's actually a great way to reserve power and save your battery. So, I would always design your battery's capacity. If you're gonna commute 10 miles, have a don't use that up every time. Because every time you to zero, it's really bad for your batteries. Your battery life expectancy goes down in efficiency. So every time, the less you use, the obviously better. So you got to really think about the balance there. And here I'm just walking, and then I finally found some downhill. I'm going downhill, and then again I'm going. This is a nasty hill. I'm just pulling my my skateboard, and then I finally got home here. I'm gonna upload a video of me actually riding, and then it will show you. You can see I just explained here. Yeah, the VESC is a ton of fun. If you're gonna, if you're gonna get into electric skateboards, and if you want the fastest skateboards, and save money actually, DIY is the way to go. My board right now is faster than Evolved, faster than any of the boosted. Double the range of boosted stealth, and because these commercial boards, they just have a lot of safety limits. They were designed to be safe. They were not designed to be maxed out. All crazy. Definitely DIY. So you can times, just go look on YouTube's board. More powerful than any of the commercials. So it's a times I can, the first time I watched, I got into skateboards when and the first movies that really got me into it was Back to the Future. That's not the first one. I've skateboarded since I was like 6 years old. But when I watched that, I was like, oh, one day I'm gonna have that. And then the movie was about 2000. Look, we're in 2020. We don't have hoverboards, but it's amazing. I've never thought we have electric skateboards that can go like 20 miles or 30 miles. You can tramp. Actually, have the tech to design a board as much as a car, like 300 miles. You just need a bigger battery, but it's just gonna look really ugly. And I'm just not a fan of having the battery on top. I just feel like the tramp boards, I just feel like they're super ugly, man. It doesn't look like a skateboard anymore. I don't the shoe mounts, the bindings. I think the bindings can huge accidents because your feet cannot get out in certain angles. Your feet get stuck. With snowboarding, you have bindings, you're okay because when you fall, you where you can slip through. But with electric skateboards, you're on concrete, man. you're gonna be sliding on concrete. So that's why I wear a full off-road motorcycle jacket. I highly recommend something like that, or elbow pads and knee pads. If you're gonna go any faster than like 15 miles per hour. If you have one of those small hub boards, I don't even wear a helmet because you can't go fast enough. Those are fun. like when I went to Seoul, I took the what is it? The link car, the hub, and when I bought that, because I live in the hills, I'm gonna ride this. I went to Korea, where the city is really flat, and you never find hills, and it was just perfect. Because it was really light, only like 6-7 pounds. It literally fit in my luggage because only 28 inches. I didn't have to check it in separately. Battery was like 6-7 miles. It wasn't too bad, but literally get out of my dad's condo that he lives in. He lives in condo in Korea. I went down, and they have really nice pavements everywhere. So I got this little board, just bus stops are kind of far away. Sometimes it can be like quarter mile away. So usually I walk, but now I'm saving so much time or walking to the subway, and it's just you need the right board for the right situation. The board I've built here, this is not for the city. You're not gonna be able to ride. You can maybe New York City, but like in Korea, they don't really have like bike lanes everywhere. You're gonna have to ride it on the sidewalk. You could, but you're gonna have like so much power for sidewalks that you're not gonna be able to go that fast because it's gonna be too dangerous. So in that situation, you might actually be better with a single hub, a skateboard that's super light and super portable. All right. So really think what your use for it. How are you gonna commute? Are you gonna the type of boards that I built there is really for the road, the actual road. I could ride on the sidewalk, but it's not going to be that much fun, It's supposed to go fast. So it really depends. Where I live is, Northern California, this suburbia. There's not too many cars. I can really pick up the whole car, the road. Just also same thing, a little bit, maybe a lot more cars. But at the same time, a lot of people are still riding. There's a amount of lanes that you could ride pretty safe. So it really depends on where you and really think about how much power you need. Where I live, I absolutely need dual belts. Single belts. I built a single belt 674. You go up the hill. You need dual motors if you need to go up hills. And yeah, it just really depends on what kind of board. Anyway, it got too long. Have a great day. Subscribe. I'm gonna upload that 360 video. It's just taking forever. It's an 8K video that I'm rendering out to 4K. So have a great day. And yeah, this is Dr. E.